Today's the day. Happy winter solstice, everyone. Oh my gosh, so excited to come to you today for our last author chat with a fellow co-author Karen Robinson of The Stories of Us. My name is Olivia Vo, your Savvy Social Pro. The link is on the screen, so the link is live. You can go to Amazon right now and buy your copies of The Stories of Us. So it's on the screen. Write it, make a note of it, write it down, and go on right now. And please come back and join us in another hour or so when we do our actual live launch celebration on Zoom. And you're all invited. So all you have to do is just join our public Facebook group, Stories of Us Authors, and you will be able to see all of the authors in one place. And we're going to be gathering together for some amazing fun prizes, giveaways, and of course, Wheel of Names. So lots of activities planned for this evening. We invite you to come and join us and just be festive, have a moment to be festive and enjoy a break from everything that's going on and to hear some amazing stories, the stories of us. So I have the pleasure of introducing you today, Karen Robinson. She is a service-driven licensed therapist, and she is also a trauma recovery expert. So we're going to be exploring what it means to recover from trauma. And, it can be hard around the holidays if you're experiencing trauma or grief. So we're going to hear from Karen about that. And of course, get into her chapter 2, Brimstone and Holy Water. So super excited to hear from her. Please, everyone, welcome Karen Robinson. Yay, Karen, you made it.
Thank you so much, Olivia. You are such a pro at that. You must have done that before.
Well, when you have 7 authors to go through, yes. How are you feeling today? I know that you're a little bit under the weather.
Yeah. So maybe it's best that I was last. Maybe that was my whole plan. No. Yeah, I wasn't feeling very well. I had my COVID injection, my pneumonia shot in the same day, and I ended up having some weird side effects with chest pains. And then I've had some family crises. My mom is in the hospital. So it's been actually really hard for me this holiday season to kind of get spunked up. So I am very happy that we're launching this book project tonight. So it's something for me and my family to celebrate. So thank you.
Indeed, we couldn't do it without you. So hear that you're feeling better, you're recovering on the mend. So how is it that you became a trauma recovery expert?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew from elementary school that I wanted to be in the helping professions. I was the kid on the playground, trying to break up fights and conflict. Can't we all just get along, And then I lived in a dysfunctional home, and at one point I ran away from home and was assigned a social worker who was really judgmental, not very helpful. And I decided that if I grew up and could be helpful to people, I would really listen to them, help people to be heard, and really be there when they needed help instead of dismissive or judgmental. So that's how I got started.
So, what advice do you have for people around holidays, right? If they're experiencing a little bit of family dysfunction. Because it always come out around the holidays.
It's extra hard on around the holidays because of all the Hallmark movies, everybody would love to have the cheerful family where everyone's together around the Christmas tree singing carols, but not many of us actually have that. So what I do try to get across to people is simply have gratitude for who is in your life that is healthy and positive. Who can you lean on in times of trouble? Who can lean on you? So having support system in place is really helpful, but also not to expect a whole lot out of yourself. Don't push yourself too hard to be in uncomfortable family situations. I have a workshop that I do during the holidays that help survivors manage their holiday time. And one of the things I give them is a permission slip. And on the permission slip, they can choose what time they're going to leave. And they can even choose not to go. If they're feeling really triggered or there's too much going on, they can say, you know what, I'm really sorry. This year I have to pass. I will do my best for next year. So yeah, that's some tips right there.
Oh, I like that, a permission slip.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's about just setting up those boundaries and knowing where we stand with others.
Yeah,
Excellent.
boundaries are really important. I think many people can identify with having someone in the family that maybe drinks too much, or maybe a person in the family is too touchy feely that makes you feel uncomfortable. And so having boundaries in place and using them is okay. You know, sometimes when we go back home, we revert to our younger versions of ourselves, but it's really important to remember we are adults, we have a voice, and it's okay to say, "No, back off, buddy." You know, that's your space over there. Or bringing your own things to drink and to eat if there's no choices that you prefer. You know, making yourself feel more comfortable wherever you go for the holidays is it's super important. And maybe get a hotel room instead of staying at somebody's house if you're not comfortable. I hope I answered that.
Yes, and I think these are like really hard steps to take though, right? So
Mhm.
how can you get to that place of like comfort that okay, this is what I can do? Have you coached
Yeah.
others through like some sort of method?
Yeah, I think it's okay to get coaching. You know, I coach people or talk to a therapist. It could be a good friend and say, hey, if you were in my shoes in this situation, what are some things that you would do? You know, I tell people to travel with a self-care kit or bag with all your favorite things in it to help soothe you if you get upset or angry or bitter. Like have your fuzzy warm socks, have your chapstick, your aromatherapy, maybe your weighted blanket. You know, take what you need with you. Take some herbal teas, you know, have some good senses for bath time, and just really try to think ahead, have a little plan in place. Like, okay, if this scenario happens, I'm going to do X. Because we all know how our families at this point, we know how they're going to behave or not behave. So there's some tips that we can try based on that.
So if you're just tuning in to watch this, hopefully you're enjoying this conversation with a trauma recovery expert, Karen Robinson. I mean, these are some amazing ideas that you can take with you as you start to gear up for those family gatherings and holiday gatherings. And if you have any questions for Karen, please let us know in the chat. We'd love to hear from you what it takes to recover from trauma, what you've done, what you'd like to do, and if you sought out coaching. So engage with us. Let us know in the comments. Karen, I've seen you so many times. You and I cross paths often in Mila's classes. We've done, the Write Your Short Book in a Day and the speaking classes. So, what made this class different from her other ones? And what propelled you, right, to like, you know what, this is the one for me. I'm going to write my memoir.
Yeah, that's a really wonderful question. I think I was drawn to this class because it was a deeper dive. It wasn't just like, oh, write, spend some time writing and then we'll look it over and then we'll help publish. Like this particular class, we talked a lot about grammar and editing and storyline. We talked about how to get your chapters organized. So it was a lot of hand holding for authors that are new or authors that wanted to go a little deeper this time. And it was also such a great idea to talk about a chapter or write a chapter that could be part of our longer memoir. It's a nice stepping stone. And now we know the structure that we need to do. The time talked about, how to get the cover. We have an amazing, beautiful cover. And we decided this as a group. So it was a group project. We voted on names of the book. We voted on the photo, like how it would look. We brainstormed ideas, and now the finished product is stunning. And even my husband was impressed with the cover, and he's not easily impressed. So I was like, "Oh, this is good. He's impressed. That's cool." Um, yeah, and just the step-by-step approaches on teaching people like it is possible to get on Amazon. Here are some tips to make it a little easier. So I think that's what was different for me this time.
Oh, thank you for sharing. I bet Mila will really appreciate that. And it was a lot of fun to have contribute input, right? Like we're not just contributing a
Mhm.
chapter, but we're contributing input on the colors, the cover, the titles. And so, I mean, I wasn't even there for the discussion for the stories of us, but it was just like, wow, that's it. That's exactly it. The stories of us. So
Yeah, and
cool.
I would love to say even a little more about Mila. I saw Mila for the first time on a summit. It was a summit called Kindness. I can't remember the exact name of it now, but it's a beautiful summit, and I've been on it in the past. And so when I heard about it coming out again, I was so gosh darn busy. I'm like, I don't have time to watch any of this. So I just kind of scanned through really quickly, and I saw her name, her face, and I'm like, let me make time for this one. I was thrilled because she gave anyone listening a free hour of her time. And so I got to speak for her for an hour. Free coaching is such an amazing gift. And then she came on my podcast. And then she sponsored one of the survivors in my trauma recovery group. She sponsors monthly one of the women that's experienced domestic violence. She purchased a scholarship to support them. So she's this beautiful, wonderful human being. So if you ever get a chance to do one of Mila's book workshops or speaking workshops, she also is very considerate that not everybody is a millionaire. So the pricing is super, super affordable. So anyway, I just had to talk a little bit of nice things about Mila for a second. I'm a fan.
We're all fans. She really is a devoted teacher, has the heart of a teacher. And I think that's what made this class so appealing, to the group. And the fact that your relationship with her, like, even goes beyond this writing. I didn't realize that she had sponsored one of your survivors and all that. So that's
Mhm.
incredible. Incredible. Um, you are also a writer too. Like, you're not new to publishing. Talk a little bit about what the journals that you have available, because you've got some amazing, beautiful journals and books available too that you've been a part of.
Yeah, thank you. So I haven't written my very own book yet. That's in the process. It's going to be my memoir, hopefully coming out early next year. And hopefully you'll help me, Olivia. And just thought I'd put that on air. Um, so I have done some other book compilations, or what's the other word we use for this? An anthologies?
Anthology, yeah,
Yes,
anthology.
yes, that word. Yeah, and so I've been in an anthology called Get Past Your Shit, which was my very first time writing a chapter, and it was a little bit scary, but I'm so glad I did that. And the main author for that compilation is Kelly McCluskey. And then I did another chapter in Divine Directions, and it's a more of a spiritual story. It's a little bit shorter and has scripture within that book. And the author of that is Benicia Ponder, also another fabulous human. And then I did some books with Donna Kozik, who is more of a business author. She does this business association of writers. And I did devotional contributions for 365 Days of Gratitude. This was the third year that I've contributed to her book projects. And I also did a couple of side projects, something about the little things and a book about personal heroes that I contributed in. My journals, I have a team, a wonderful, amazing team that helps me with the graphics and so forth. And I do the journaling prompts. And the journals are geared towards trauma survivors. We have journals to help people track their sleep and work on their sleep. We have it to how to cope with anxiety. We have a Christian version that's, a place for scripture, your prayers, anything spiritual that you want to write about is a good place in this book. We have a journal about friendships. And we have more coming out. We have we have a travel journal, which is probably one of my favorite because I'm I have a huge love of travel. And in fact, I've actually started a travel blog on top of everything else because I just love travel so much. So yeah, we have more and more coming out in 2023.
It seems like there's a lot of spirituality that comes into play. Did that have a factor in your chapter title, The Brimstone
Ah.
Holy Water? Can you tell us a little bit about what to expect in your chapter?
Yeah, so the reason my chapter is called Brimstone and Holy Water, it's sort of like a play between my two grandmothers. One grandmother, Grammy Grace, was Pentecostal, and my Grammy Lena was Catholic. And so my childhood was a little bit confusing with both of their doctrines, but the big takeaway of the chapter is these two women were beautiful. They inspired me. They were huge caretakers in my life, other than my aunt and my mom. They were very important women in my life, that taught me the importance of prayer and being spiritual and being faithful. So I owe a lot to them.
Just yesterday, we spoke with Marilyn Atterbury, who talked about her Mennonite upbringing. And here you are with two doctrines growing up, the Pentecostal and the Catholic. And I think maybe just trying to adopt to both and making it your own or blending them. And
Yeah, I'm not denominational now. Yep.
you are. Okay. Okay. And then, because you had mentioned talking about like devotionals that you've contributed to, did you tie in some of that upbringing that you had?
Yeah, like more like my recovery stories because I'm a survivor as well, a trauma
Mm.
survivor. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Excellent. Well, I'm so excited to everyone to buy the book. You can go buy the book today. We just launched. We've been
Woohoo!
doing all these author chats just to help you get a preview of who the writers are behind the stories. And so we're hoping that you enjoy the series. And now you can go to this Amazon link right here on the screen and order your copy. So we talk about different ways to heal, and maybe sometimes it's reading another person's story and relating, right? Relating to someone else's experience to kind of heal from your own. So I think this is what this book is all about too, capturing these memoirs. All right. Um, what does your family think? I mean, you've been in so many other book anthologies, right? And like, how do they see you? Like your kids, how do they see you writing these stories?
Well, my oldest daughter, Lena, she read the proof coming out, and she felt she learned even more about me. And she just had a chuckle on how I described like some of my dating episodes and the marriage. You know, she thought it was just funny how I described her dad. Yeah, so um, I think she enjoyed, the hard stuff I had told her, pretty much most of that. I try to have genuine conversations with my kids as it's age appropriate. And so I think they get to know mom a little better in a different way as I write my stories.
Is she named after one of your grandmothers? I just recognized.
Oh, yeah, both of my daughters are actually, I'm so glad you said that. My oldest daughter is named after Grammy Lena, and my middle daughter is named after Grammy Grace. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Well, speaking of, we have some family photos to go through.
Oh,
So every author had submitted photos, just to enrich our conversations. And I'm so glad that you were able to pull some out of the attic. So here we go. We're going to go through some of these. I love this picture, Karen. Oh my gosh. It is like the epitome of the school picture. That's you, right?
In kindergarten, yep.
So innocent.
Kindergarten. Big brown eyes.
Awesome. So who do we have here in these photos with you?
Yeah, so the handsome gentleman in the photo is my husband. I call him my hunk of burning love. We came up with nicknames for each other when we were dating, and I had to just be extra about it, right? So, uh, and he calls me Angel Face, and I think this photo shows our relationship really well. He's always trying to make me laugh. Sometimes he's annoying with it, trying to get me to laugh, but a lot of times he really does brighten up my day, and he just brings so much joy to our family. When I met him, I had already had my daughter Lena from a former marriage, and Grace I adopted when I was working overseas. And when I married Tony, then we had Gideon. So Gideon's the turkey on top of his sister there. So yeah, my
Oh,
precious kiddos.
beautiful family. Wow. I know. I love this
Thank you.
photo of both of you smiling. He is pretty hunky, I have to say. That's awesome.
Thank you. And it's still like every time he cracks me up a lot. So he's super fun.
Even during solemn events like this one, right? I can imagine him saying his vows. I promise to make you laugh. whether you want to or not.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time laughing. My husband's a he's the smartest person I've ever met. He's a marine engineer. He's super talented. He's a musician. He writes screenplays. He's working on a graphic novel right now. He just won Engineer of the Year. He gets the award in 2023 at the National Harbor. So I feel like the two of us, we work really hard at everything we do. And we are such a great example for our kiddos. So they can also learn what it means to work hard and create a life that you love. So that's kind of what we do.
It seems like you complement each other really well because I feel like you're more on the artistic side, coaching, and he's like this super high engineer.
Yes.
So that's wonderful.
Thank you.
And I pulled these photos out for you too.
Yeah, so thank you for that. The picture at the top is on a cruise. It was my daughter's first cruise. We took her after her first year of university with my Aunt Diane. And Aunt Diane is who took me in and took care of me when I ran away from home. So the three of us just had an amazing time together. And then the picture on the bottom is Lena and I. The Mormon temple in the DC area is only open to the public very infrequently. I can't remember how many. Well, it won't open again in my lifetime, but Lena in her 70s could go back. That's how infrequently they open it. So we got a chance to have a tour, and it was an amazing tour of the beautiful gardens. And the
So
kiddos, go ahead.
no one goes to that DC temple? Like
Yes, it's the Mormon temple. It's actually in Maryland, but it's considered the DC temple.
so
LDS
it's just
temple
closed until like random periods
to the public.
to the public. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But there's still
Yeah.
Mormons that attend there, right? Like they have services.
They only do very special services in this building. It's immaculate, like it's white glove all the way through. So they actually attend services in a temple nearby. So this is truly for just special occasions.
Oh my goodness, wow. Because I remember in Salt Lake City, I went to one, but it wasn't like as immaculate. I didn't realize like they had this one. Well, that's so special. Yeah.
We had a beautiful time. And the top picture, I think, is at Cape May, maybe. Yeah, we've gone to a lot of beaches over the year. I think that was Cape May. One of the breaks from school, I took the kids. My husband stayed to work. I think we had a nanny at the time, Jessica. I think she got to go on that trip and snap that little picture of us. So,
well, this one caught my eye because of the caption you wrote, "Unconditional love." And I was like, oh, this just shows it. I mean, yeah, everyone is so beaming.
I love my baby so much. Yeah. I call them Boo Boo, Boo Boo 1, Boo Boo 2, Boo Boo 3.
Well, that's better than thing 1 and thing 2. So Boo Boo 1. Do you wish they stayed kiddos for a long time?
I am so torn about that question because, like, kids in general are so much work. And thankfully, my husband's a very hands-on parent because I was a single parent for a while with just Lena and Grace, and I adore them, but they were just so much work because I wanted them busy in activities and so forth. So with Tony, it's been much easier. He does a lot of stuff for them. I don't know. I mean, I love like the older, mature conversations, but I also love the snuggles. And Gideon right now, he just turned 10 in November, so he's the only one actively giving me snuggles, because Lena's at school and Gracie's a moody 13-year-old. I still get snuggles from all three of them at times.
I know, you got to get your snuggles in while you can.
Oh, I love these pictures.
I love these too because they're Christmassy and it fits right in with our theme.
Yeah. And so this is a family Christmas a few years ago. And This is my cousin Tom, the white guy in the photo. My kids call him Uncle Tom, because he's such a huge part of our lives. He has spent quite a few holidays with us. And so in the top picture is Gracie had a unicorn birthday party one year, and it was just fun. We love themed birthdays. Spider-Man, the unicorn, cars. We've done many different types over the years. It's been a lot of fun. And the picture on the bottom is a picture of my mom. I wanted to capture her as well. She got to live with me for a couple of years, and I'm thankful for that time because she got to bond with Gideon in a different way. The two girls, she wasn't, she lived so far away. She lives in Canada. And when Lena was small, we lived in Japan for many years. So we've never lived close until Mom moved in. So she got to spend some quality time with Gideon. And one of his favorite memories of Mom is they made gingerbread cookies one year. So I didn't know they did that. I was like, oh, he just told me that recently. So I thought that was really sweet.
That is sweet. That is his own memories of her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, does he expect you to make gingerbread cookies too?
Well, Dad went and got stuff to make a ginger. First, he got Oreo cookie kit and made Oreo houses, and then they were too small. So then he went and got a gingerbread house for the middle. So we have a big gingerbread house with little Oreo houses around it, and then we got Christmas trees and coconut for the snow. Like, it's a bigger deal this year.
That's the picture we need here, Karen.
Well, maybe if people hadn't kept eating the trees.
This is amazing. What a loving family that you've had. And it hasn't been easy, I can see, to create and cultivate this family. So, yeah, lots of things to be thankful for sure.
Absolutely. That was nice. That was just
Stories of us, right? Mm-hmm. These are the stories of us and who makes up us, the people surrounding. That's so wonderful, Karen. Thank you so much for just, being able to come on today. I know like this was a bit of a challenge, but I can see you smiling. So I'm glad you were on and be able to love on your kids a little bit.
Yeah, I do love them a lot.
Excellent. Can you share a little bit more about the Survivor program that you have? And all the information can be found on your website, correct?
Mm-hmm. Okay, healthrivedream.com. We sell scholarships year-round for survivors to be in our group coaching program, where once or twice a month, we do coaching calls, but also there's accountability to help people work on whatever their stuck points are in their trauma recovery. So the goal is to work on your past, to work on healing that, but also to improve your present moments, to really be mindful of the here and now, to feel your best. Then the third component is, what are your dreams for your future, and how can we help you take those baby steps towards those bigger dreams? So it's a beautiful program. It comes with workbooks, it comes with journaling prompts, and lots of different exercises to help you to, work on becoming the best self that you can be, despite having a history of trauma. So that's the main component of the scholarship. The scholarship is a fixed rate. We're never going to increase the price of it. So it's super affordable at $28 a month. So if you want to help a survivor of sexual assault, domestic violence, childhood abuse, get in touch. We're happy to have you support.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And one thing that I noticed is that you're a mother-daughter company. So what does that mean too?
Yeah. A couple of people have thought, does that mean your daughters are coaching or doing that? I'm like, no, you don't want that yet. You really don't want that yet. And then my oldest is an RA at school, and it feels like she's doing a lot of therapy sometimes. So mother-daughter company, my daughters are in the periphery helpers. So for example, I have a physical journal that's just a plain journal, and I made some prompts that on a little handout that can go with it. But the top of the journal, my daughter Grace designed, and she designed the emblem that's embossed, I think it's called, into the journal. So we got 500 journals made like that. So she was a key part in that. She's also has the design eye. So sometimes when I'm creating social media images or images for my group, she kind of looks them over. So she does that for me. And then Lena is an English major, so she does some editing for me. Sometimes willingly, sometimes I have to ask a couple times, because she gets busy. So she does that, and sometimes she'll help with a bit of design, but she'll give feedback like cultural snack foods, if I make a little, oh, well, like when I was young, because I'm getting older, right? Things have really changed with vocab in terms of like the LGBTQ community. So if I mess that up, she corrects me. If I mess up, like she said that we're moving away from describing people as African Americans because not all Black people are American or from Africa. So to use the word, Black. So now it's in my chapter as African American, but when I write my memoir, I'm going to change it to Black for her. So she's like my little culture. I thought I was very culturally in tuned, but she's my little watcher of those kind of things. So it's kind of cute.
That's awesome. I like that. I like that they can be involved on the periphery,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing you in action, right? This is your business, and this is what you love to do, and like they can help out with that. So wonderful. Thank you so much, Karen, again. Oh my gosh, it's been so awesome just to have this one-on-one time with you. I know that we see each other in passing. We've done a lot of cool things, but we've not had a one-on-one conversation. So more to come for sure. More to come. And if you're interested in getting in touch with Karen, please follow her website. It's healthrivedream.com. And who knows, you may have it in your heart to sponsor survivors. So I invite you to go and check out that program and see what that all entails. And of course, we're going to go take a break now and get ready for our amazing launch. So it's happening very soon at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So you're all invited. It's going to be on Zoom, and you can go join us at the public Facebook group, Stories of Us Authors. So we will see you then. And remember, go buy the book. It's available on Amazon today, both in paperback and hardcover. And it's an easy read. And you can get it done in an afternoon, and it makes a perfect stocking stuffer. So no excuses, right? So go buy the book and have it for yourself and for your loved ones, family, and friends. All right, we'll see you real soon. Have a good night.
Thanks, Olivia.
Thank you, Karen. We'll see you soon.